The Tory Lanez shooting trial has wrapped up. Megan Thee Stallion, our very own right in Houston, took the stand to share her testimony, telling the court today that Tory Lanez shot her in the feet. Many have been skeptical of her story. She was heckled before even entering the courtroom.
Let's get to Tory Lanez, because his trial in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting case is about to begin. They already had jury selection going on, so technically the trial has started. But he has just been hit with a third felony charge now, which certainly seems like really bad news for him. And that charge is negligent discharge of a firearm.
New details tonight in the trial of rapper Tory Lanez, accused of shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Prosecutors filed a felony charge of discharging a firearm with gross intelligence. This comes just as jury selection began yesterday. Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, already faces several other gun charges in the July 2020 shooting. Opening statements are scheduled to begin next week.
Closing arguments in singer Megan Thee Stallion's shooting trial. Rapper Tory Lanez showed up in a pink suit today at the LA courthouse, where he's fighting charges that he shot Megan twice in the foot 2 years ago after they left a pool party at Kylie Jenner's house. The three-time Grammy winner testified that Lanez shot her feet as he yelled at her to dance. She tearfully recounted her story to Gayle King.
All I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, and he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Legal analyst Royal Oakes is at the courthouse.
This is a real credibility battle. Totally different stories by both sides, and the defense hope is that the jury will scratch their heads and say, we're just not sure, we can't convict him.
Today, Megan's lawyer, Alex Spiro, expressed concerns about possible witness tampering because Megan's former bodyguard failed to show up to testify for the prosecution.
You see things like the bodyguard who's set to testify, his family lawyer waiting for him at the courthouse, and he vanishes because of a variety of circumstances that are going to come to light. I can't say too much about it right now.
The bodyguard's most recent Instagram post shows him in Qatar on December 2nd working at the World Cup. Is this witness intimidation?
It's witness compromising.
The case that occurred last year between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion was one of great importance, not only to the two we named, but the music industry as a whole, not to mention those who were fans of the two. The case had grown into a massive schism in which many people believed one side over the other and would blast those who didn't agree with them. However, in the end, it was Megan Thee Stallion getting the victory, and that led to many things happening. But the question is, what's been going on with Tory Lanez during this time? We'll break it down for you. But before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. Do you want the chance to win a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, MacBook Pro, or a $500 Amazon gift card? Find the hidden message that's in the video, comment it down below, and subscribe to the channel for a chance to win one of these amazing prizes. Don't forget to hit the like button, and good luck. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Awaiting his sentence. To the question of where is Tory Lanez right now? The answer to that is prison. After being convicted of his crime, which we'll recap later, he was put into a prison until he gets his sentencing. The good news is that we know his sentencing hearing will happen at the very end of February, as in on the 28th. When he's brought before the judge, he could face anything from 20 years in prison to being deported from the United States. Both options may seem harsh, but it's important to remember that he was fully convicted of multiple crimes, and they weren't small ones, so whatever he gets, one could very well argue that he deserves it. It also doesn't help that for much of the trial and the time leading up to it, Lanez tried to get people to believe that he wasn't guilty of these events, and that Megan Thee Stallion made it all up. The sad thing is that many people did believe him for a time, and that has led to some coming forward and apologizing to Megan. The apologies. Megan Thee Stallion has received another apology in the wake of Tory Lanez being found guilty of shooting her in the feet, and this time, it's from Matt Hoffa. The My Expert Opinion host spoke at length about the trial during a previous episode of his podcast, and continued to affirm that Megan was lying. In a recent sit-down with Drink Champs though, Hoffa admitted they were wrong, and revealed he had personally sent a lengthy apology letter to Meg. I want to apologize to Megan too, because I saw 50 Cent put out an apology, Hoffa said at the 3-hour mark. We didn't believe her. We did not believe her, bro. We didn't believe her. She definitely needed more people. Well, she didn't really need more people. I want to publicly apologize to Megan because as black men, we're supposed to protect our women, and I feel like I failed in that category as far as the things that I said on our podcast. I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm sorry for that, coming from a black man. And yeah, I apologize. I think with both of them, I hope they find better places in their lives because we've seen other artists go through shit, Hoffa added, comparing the situation to Chris Brown beating Rihanna in 2009. We do need to do more about us just misusing each other. 50 Cent issued an apology to Megan Thee Stallion in January over a meme he had previously posted that compared her to Jussie Smollett and admitted he previously felt like Megan was lying about everything in relation to her case with Tory Lanez because she denied having a sexual relationship with him. However, a specific point in the trial made him change his tune. I'm gonna apologize to Megan Thee Stallion, 50 said. I said some things and it was because on social media, I posted things that when she was with Gayle King, she said, "Were you intimate with Tory Lanez?" And she said, "What?" And it was like, "No." And I was like, she lying. At that point, I knew she was lying. It wouldn't be no reason for them to be around each other, he continued. From that, it felt like she was lying to me. 50 added that it was Tory Lanez's call to Megan's former friend Kelsey Harris from jail, which was played in the trial as evidence that gave him a different perspective. I should apologize to her because when I heard the phone conversation, that made me feel like, oh shit, he said. Now I know what happened. I'm sure that was probably what swayed people in court too. We'll talk about the phone call in a bit as well, but let's focus on these apologies for right now. While they can very easily be considered a case of too little too late, let's try to be more positive because they could have done a "yeah, my bad" apology and not really meant it. But with Hoffa and 50 Cent, they both thought carefully about what they would say and fully admitted to being wrong and hurting her with their words and how they need to do better. 50 even explained the moments when he realized he was wrong. Megan is owed many more apologies given the treatment she got when things first occurred, but at the very least, this is a great start. Plus, you don't hear statements like these coming to Tory Lanez's defense, so that must make him feel pretty lonely right now in his cell. The verdict. Alright, now let's talk about the case and how Lanez was convicted. Last December, the case between Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez came to a head, and Megan won in the end. The jury found Lanez guilty of discharging a firearm with gross negligence, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. That's a lot of guilty charges that he'll have to deal with once sentencing comes. If he had only gotten one charge, he could have possibly bucked it under the right circumstances. But with the amount of charges and the severity of them, you can see why many are curious about how this sentencing will go. Megan Thee Stallion testified that Lanez shot at her feet 5 times following a party in the Hollywood Hills on July 12, 2020. She told the court that the shooting was preceded by an argument between Megan and Lanez that got heated, especially when they began attacking each other's music careers. I feel like that really rubbed him the wrong way, she said during her testimony, according to the Associated Press. He kept yelling and cursing. She got out of the vehicle and tried to walk away when Lanez leaned out and opened fire, she said, leaving the back of her feet wounded. At one point, he yelled, "Dance, bitch," she testified. She eventually got back into the car, which was pulled over shortly after. She said that despite the shooting, she agreed to get back in the vehicle with Lanez, his bodyguard, and a third person because she was wearing a thong bikini and also felt like her manager would know what to do if she was able to get in touch with him. She said she needed surgery to remove bullet fragments in her feet, which was later proven by testimony from one of the people at the hospital who actually operated on her. She also testified that Lanez had offered her $1 million to keep quiet about the incident since he was on probation, but a lawyer for Lanez stated that wasn't true. In a statement released immediately after the verdict was read, LA County District Attorney George Gascon praised Megan Thee Stallion's bravery, saying that she showed incredible courage and vulnerability with her testimony, despite repeated and grotesque attacks that she didn't deserve. Women, especially black women, are afraid to report crimes like assault and sexual violence because they are too often not believed, Gascon said. The DA also thanked the members of the jury who were there during the court case and spent countless hours away from family during the holiday season. So it was a good holiday gift to Megan Thee Stallion in many ways. She was proven to be right and that Lanez was a liar, and that's why she got all those apologies later on. But for Lanez, his punishment would come even more afterward, as a key leaked file was all the proof some people needed to see how much Lanez was lying. The phone call. Throughout the trial and leading up to it, Lanez and his legal team maintained a hardline stance that Lanez was innocent and Megan Thee Stallion was lying about everything. They even tried to say that her former best friend Kelsey was the one who shot at her, but after the court case ended, a phone call from jail between Lanez and Kelsey came out and it revealed quite a bit. The call begins with Lanez asking Kelsey how the situation was at that point, to which she responded, "Megan is still in the hospital. I'm outside the hospital." Lanez then begins apologizing for the situation, blaming his actions on being inebriated. "Bruh, I know Megan probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but I just want you to know, bruh, I was just so drunk that I didn't even know what the was going on." He continues, "I didn't even know what the was going on, like dead ass. I never do some shit like that. I just so drunk. I didn't even understand what the was going on. Regardless though, that's not gonna make anything right, and it's not gonna make my actions right. I'm just deeply sorry, bruh. I never even move like that. I never move like that at all." But wait, we're just getting started. Harris let out a sigh before responding, "I don't know, there's a lot. There's a lot that happened," but Lanez cuts her off. "A whole lot. I feel crazy, but in the state, like what happened happened. I can't take it back, but I'm just telling you, I'm sorry. I think I was just too drunk. When I got to the house, I assure you, all the top, they gave me like 5 shots off the door. I was out of there." He later admits that he doesn't recall what the eventual argument that took place between Megan, Harris, and himself was about. "I don't even remember what we was even arguing about." Harris jumps in, "Yeah, I was already fucked up by the time you got there." Lanez later jumps topics again, asking Harris to contact his security so they can figure out how to bail him out of jail. She replies that there are mutually concerned parties involved that want him to get out of jail in hopes to stop the spread of the news. She mentions Megan's team is already working to quiet the situation. Lanez adds that he doesn't think Megan will get any backlash from the situation and that it'll all come back on him. He then concludes the conversation by saying, "Regardless if I get out of here today or not, bro, I just want to let y'all know I'm sorry. I'd never did that shit if I wasn't drunk." A very revealing call and proof that Lanez knew what he did and yet tried to cover it up. There are some Megan Thee Stallion fans who want him locked up for the max sentence or deported thanks to what he's done. We only have a few weeks to wait to see what goes down. And there you go, everyone. A look at the latest with Tory Lanez and what led him to this point. Do you hope that Lanez gets the maximum sentence possible for his crimes? Do you feel that more people are going to step forward and apologize to Megan Thee Stallion for not siding with her from the start? What do you think Megan will do once Tory is sentenced? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.